Welcome back, everybody. Dave Fleming with Kyle McKenzie, and very excited to share with you guys. That is not photoshopped. That is the actual cover of Tennis Magazine with Ben Johns on the cover. Comes out on newsstands on June 14th. I had the great just honor to be able to write the cover story.
That's awesome.
The feature here. So this is, I love two great sports coming together here, Kyle. And tennis is heading to the kitchen line.
Yeah, I can't say enough about monumental occasion, right? I mean, I came from tennis, you came from tennis. It's been kind of tough to see the war between pickleball and tennis. It's nice to see coming together a little bit more. Big for pickleball to get that credibility in a major magazine like that. And it's not just Ben in here. I was looking through. There's a whole spread on pickleball, some other pros as well. So that's it's great to see.
Yeah, Jesse Irvin in there. Callie Smith's got a workout article in there. And, you know, there's no reason for anything but harmony between the two. And this is just the beginning of that. All weekend we're going to be on Tennis Channel with Championship Sunday, semifinals tomorrow. So it's exciting times for both sports to be able to help each other out.
Both are great sports, and I think there's certainly room for both to thrive.
All right, so let's cut to the action here. We've got, look at that, Anna Leigh Waters. Where's Ben Johns? We just talked about him, showed him on the cover. He's in Europe, Kyle.
He's MIA. He's MIA. No, this one I'm particularly excited about. We've got the two young phenoms, J-Dub and Anna Leigh. I believe they're very good friends off the court. Excited to get going on this one. Just short on the drop by J-Dub there.
And then on the other side, we've got Parris. Todd's been on fire.
I'll say she is definitely the latest thing that everybody's talking about. She's won several singles titles in a row. Going to be a preview of the Championship Sunday matchup between her and Anna Leigh. I'm very excited to watch that one. And Spencer Smith is no slouch at all himself. Really improved his doubles game specifically in the last year or so, and they can give these guys a run. I'm excited to see how this plays out.
And I think you saw in the middle of that point that little forehand roll dink that Parris hit. That's a shot, obviously, from the baseline where she's just been passing ladies left and right with that. Now as she hones that in at the kitchen line, she's going to be a problem.
For sure, for sure. If she can do it from the baseline, it's just a matter of condensing that technique. It looks like she's on her way to being an elite doubles player as well.
You see, I don't know if Anna Leigh said, J-Dub, you have to use a Yola paddle to be my mixed doubles partner, but
get some familiarity out there.
Just so she sees that out of the corner of her eye.
Just a little long. Did look like she had enough room, just couldn't stay down on it. Early on, we're not seeing a lot of isolation. No kitchen points. Everybody seems to be moving the ball around, trying to let the attack kind of build organically here. We'll see if that trend continues.
And I think that there's the big difference of what Anna Leigh brings to mixed doubles. She ain't scared. She's going to attack whoever's in front of her. I don't care who it is.
Each, in my opinion, really does have the complete package, but you're right, just a lot more natural offense than most of the other top pros.
Yeah, and we talked about, we saw Daniel De La Rosa in the first match. If you reach and you're not on balance, it's just really hard to make that ball, and it ends up almost being parallel to you instead of in front. And Smith a little late on that one.
You look at that previous point as well with J-Dub when he got that first ball to attack. Didn't try to go through Parris. He flicked it up into an awkward location, held his ground, and really took control on that second attack.
Yeah, so that's when you face J-Dub and Anna Leigh, you are going to run into, wait, there's patient and have all the shots, and that's a
wait a second, you can do both?
Right.
Wait a second.
It was supposed to be an either or, and with them it's not. So it's not an either or as to whether we'll take a break, but we will, and we'll be right back from the Select Medical Orange County Cup. All right, we are back. Yeah, they look stressed. Off and running here are Anna Leigh Waters and J.W. Johnson. Get the first 4. Actually, the first 5, excuse me.
Excellent play there by Parris.
Yeah, there you see that, played extremely high-level tennis, even as a young teenager, tried to go pro. And,
I've heard a little about her story there.
So,
I like the adjustment she made there. She was already off the line, anticipating that first attack, and made her her counterattack just a little higher quality. Was able to get through on that point.
Gorgeous.
That's pretty great body control right there.
I mean, not that our beloved referees were in play there, but you had a goalpost between the ATP and the referee. Split the uprights.
Gave her a target.
Yes.
Just go between.
We talked about the forehand roll of Parris. Todd, that's one thing she'll have to keep an eye on, though. Too much of it, and you're giving away ATPs all day long. So you got to find what's the angle, and more importantly, what's the pace on that.
Absolutely. You got to be careful not going too wide. For me, I like to aim about at that outside foot. When you get further than that, when you're using a lot of spin, you're in kind of that danger territory of that ATP like we've seen. One thing that I think Parris will develop in the next few months here in her doubles game is she looks smooth, everything looks great, but it looks like some of these balls are very close to attackable territory out of the air, and she's much more comfortable just continuing to roll it back. I think to have a chance in this match, she's going to need to initiate and pull the trigger a little more often when that ball's in that, what we call that yellow zone at times.
Yeah, especially as the underdog, if you got a chance, not crazy, and certainly when you're serving, when there's no risk to losing a point. We'll see. I like that she has kept J.W. Johnson honest going down the line a couple times. Just keep that big forehand out of the middle. Sometimes you just got to get rid of that goose egg, and then you can get going.
Second call for Hayden Patrickman and Leigh Jensen with GS3. Hayden Patrickman and Leigh Jensen, GS3, foul call.
Stuck that counter right there. That's what it takes. That's what it takes to get through J-Dub right there.
Yeah, bounced off the paddle, the body, might have caught the chin. Those do not count, folks. Off the hand, if anything's touching the paddle, all good.
Right.
But this is not like volleyball where you literally just get that dang thing over the net. And however, you can't actually kick the volleyball over.
Can't kick the pickleball
yet. No.
Not yet. Whatever.
Oh, Kyle's calling for new rules.
Hey, game's got to evolve, right, Dave?
Fair enough.
Might be a little too much, but to your point, Dave, what I'd like to see him do here is, they're both elite singles players. Not that the play of just, ripping and hoping is going to be what's going to get them through the whole match. But when you're down, I think just to change the tempo, I'd like to see him be a little more aggressive in their first couple of swings here, get up to the line, then make them work a little bit more. But I feel like this is the time to just send a message, be a little bit more aggressive early, and see if you can string a couple of points together.
Serve. 162.
Beautiful ball by Leigh right there. Caught Smith sitting on that backhand.
Yeah, all about location, not pace on that one. She got it right at that right hip where it would have jammed Spencer even if he would have tried to play that one. So great location, great shot.
Oohs and ahs on the ATP defense.
What a point. What a point.
Tremendous point. Parris Todd is smiling there. She saw the cross court. The problem is attacking right into the J.W. Johnson paddle. You can't have your paddle ready quick enough if you swing a two-handed backhand because you can't get the paddle back in front of you in time.
Well, they made him work for it. Yeah, they made him work for it, but inevitably, J-Dub able to put that one away. Going back to the previous point, kind of a tactical thing for players at home is when you speed up cross court, it's a way to get your partner's hands involved. So if your partner has elite counter-punching hands, the counterattack usually comes to them when you do speed up cross.
Ooh, the dreaded HTP there as he hit the post. Yeah, and I think that point you made there is an important one. If your partner's hands are not ideal, you are asking for trouble and perhaps a new partnership if you keep doing that.
No, I teach with Tyson McGuffin, and so pretty familiar with his game. He played all year with Riley last year, and it was something that he had mentioned quite often, that he would intentionally speed up cross court because he wanted to involve Riley with that pancake grip and let his hands do the rest. So definitely a situational shot, very partner dependent, as you mentioned.
Yeah, and it's, you know, the teams that win, everybody's so good, it's complementary pickleball. And you have to know what it is that you do that sets your opponent into trouble and sets your partner up for success.
It's kind of why I like, watching, week to week, so many of these different partnerships change, because one player may have to draw in their bag of tricks very different shots depending on who they're playing with.
Just wide from Smith there. That's a ball they got to take advantage of. Short return, go eat.
Agreed. 8-2 here. David, I think right now they're just kind of owning the line. They're not backing up as much. They're dictating, finding that fine line of when to take it out of the air. Much more reluctant to sag back, and I think that's ultimately why they seem to be in the driver's seat right now.
Yep, they are driving a 9-2 lead, and we will drive to a quick break. This is the PPA. Everybody select Medical Orange County Cup. Leigh Waters and J.W. Johnson relaxed, as Kyle, my partner here, just pointed out, really owning the kitchen line, and the scoreboard shows you what that means on how the match is going so far, but opportunities.
Yeah, J.W. had a good look at that one, just slightly overcooked it. We've got 9-2-2 here.
9-2-2.
Beautiful job by Spencer Smith, and that was all set up. Parris Todd had a backhand dink that she put back into the middle instead of going cross court. That changed the whole pattern and got Spencer a ball ultimately. Sometimes it's a ball 4 shots ago that sets up your partner.
Yeah, I feel like they've had the most success with their counterpunching. So the adjustment I would make, just to your point, is maybe work the inside foot a little bit more, kind of dare J-Dub and Anna Leigh to pull the trigger at times and sit on that big counter. But I think that's a play that they may explore a little bit more later in this game through the second and through the match.
Kyle, why don't you explain to everybody what you mean by inside foot if they're new to the game, maybe some of the tennis people we talked about watching here?
Yeah, I think so often when you're practicing dinking cross court, you've got that bigger target, you tend to go, if it's a forehand side, just forehand to forehand all day long. But just slipping that ball just a few feet over to the inside foot often takes your opponent out of their rhythm, forces them to play their backhand or whatever the opposite shot is, and it takes away the angle too. So sometimes that ball will sit up and be very tempting to attack, but if your hands are ready and you like your counterpunching skills, sometimes working the middle is a better way to handle some of the aggression. Nice weight of shot by Anna Leigh there. It's tough to see on the live stream, but so much spin on that forehand dink really explodes into the opponents there.
And we're at a game point here. That return did sail just deep. So J.W. Johnson and Anna Leigh Waters looking very just smiling their way through a beautiful day in Cali here. So we'll see if Todd and Smith can put pressure on them in game 2 right after this.
Okay, number 1 goes to Johnson and Waters. Folks, you like what you see?
Parris Todd ready to serve and see if they can get on to a little better start, down 6 early in game number 1.
Yeah, I didn't feel like they played poorly in game 1. It just didn't translate to a lot of points. Be interesting to see what adjustments they make coming into game 2 here.
That is an incredibly frustrating point for Todd and Smith because they played by the book, kept the ball out of the way of
and they
trouble.
held their positioning better too. They really
so
owned the line for the start of that point, even better than J-Dub and Anna Leigh. So those ones are tough to lose for sure. It's a big counter there.
Big swing.
Two-hander.
Big swing.
She timed that well.
Slight breeze today just to the backs of Anna Leigh and J.W.
That's a nice point there. One adjustment I think Spencer's going to have to make here, and I see a lot of my own game in his with that heavy backhand slices. J-Dub's leaning in so well, and he's so good at flicking his attacks and looking to take that at Parris. I think he may need to go just a little less aggressive on the slice to keep that out of flick territory for J-Dub going forward here. Trying to figure out what's going on court here now.
Not sure what the issue is, but I'm going to find out.
Hey Spencer, what's the issue? Oh, we're serving dance? Yeah, okay.
All right, folks, we had a serving ban fall off there, so got that squared away, and
right.
here we go. counter me ready.
I feel like those are worth more than 1 point in a way,
Yes.
right? Because it sends a message that J-Dub has to be a little more patient. He won't be able to attack those, what we call red zone balls, as much and confidently, so it just forces both sides to work the point a little bit better. Huge play by Parris there.
Yes, we replay Let's here in the PPA Tour, so that's why you saw a second serve there. Obviously, much better start here.
Yeah.
Got a little lead.
Yeah, you want to feel like you're into it early and let your opponents have a chance to feel some pressure. Okay, I like it. And we are seeing them be a little bit more aggressive early. Worked a drive-drop combination there, tempting Leigh and J-Dub to try to finish the point maybe a little too early, and they've earned a couple of errors here. Got a different formation here with Spencer on the right.
And now they grind out a point and win it. You know, we'll see. You know, the side switch was because of a scrambly point, so I don't expect that to continue, but certainly worked for...
It's a bonus anytime
exactly.
you're on the less preferred sides and can steal the point away. It feels like more than one.
So they get 2 for that and 2 for the Parris counter. So they
I'm not sure what the real score is here. Then,
exactly.
I think, again, kind of the message that we're seeing to me that wasn't as calculated on the speed up by Leigh. So that shows me there's a little bit of pressure. They're feeling that they have to really play well to win points now rather than just breeze through like they were the first game. So we're right in the thick of it now. It's good stuff.
And the Leigh Waters Paddle Tech paddle is on the ground. That means timeout. So we'll take a quick one as well. Much different start to game number 2. All right, we are back, and Todd and Smith.
They've got all the momentum in game 2 right
looking
now.
Very good.
Let's see if that timeout by Leigh is going to work here.
Yeah, the Waters are some of the best timeout users as well in the game.
They have a good sense for when it's needed, absolutely.
Back to Todd on the left. That did not work out so well that time.
Couldn't quite get established.
Ooh, and then a miss serve. So
perfect timeout. Perfect timeout.
Perfect, and they're gonna keep this Parris in front of Leigh.
Okay. What do you think the thought process is behind that, Dan?
I think in the in the first game, all those cross-court dink battles just weren't going Parris's way. So,
I agree.
You know, losing is one thing, but losing the same way without mixing something up, and obviously the scoreboard has been impacted here as well. So stay with it. I'm glad they went back to it, actually. The adjustment is can Parris feel good about dinking in front of her to Leigh, or in this pattern right here?
Right. Oh, that's big. That's so big.
Step back. Excuse me just a minute, Kyle. Step back inside out between Lee's backhand and JW's forehand. That just happened.
You're going to have to teach me that one, Dave. That looked pretty.
Wow. Parris Todd, ladies and gentlemen. Champs-Élysées right there. Generous call, it looked like maybe over there,
yeah,
right on the edge.
Very tight.
She had him in the middle.
She set it up well. She set it up well. I feel like the outside foot to outside forehand pattern, Spencer is doing a little bit better there, but doesn't have that two-hander in the middle. Leigh see that might be a good speed up location. Darn near set that one up perfectly. disguised that attack well.
Yes.
Caught J-Dub maybe leaning a little bit towards the middle. And
She's going to play straight up now. Okay. And there, Spencer Smith's got the forehand ready. And look at this. Just want to talk about a match doing a 180. We're just going to play our side right now, Kyle. It's all good. We're that comfortable.
Well, to your point, I mean, anybody at home watching, like you mentioned, don't lose the same way. They've made a lot of little adjustments. They played more up-tempo at times. They've changed up the formations, and it's working really well now.
And we just got a call overturn there that gives another point to Smith and Todd. Little ambitious on the ball before that.
Yeah, I think driving's a great choice, but unless it's a short ball, you don't really drive to advance your position. You drive to put pressure on the volley and then maybe advance your position on the next one. I think he had his heart rate pumping.
Yes.
Got a little excited on that one, but we've all been there.
Oh, every last one of us. And if you say you haven't been, you're not telling the truth.
You're not very self-aware. Got another little unforced error there, and look at us, 9-2 now. Look at this.
Another flick goes deep, and folks, we are at game point for Smith and Todd at 10-2. That's impressive hands from J-Dub.
Tough location to cover. Tough to teach that kind of talent and hand speed right there.
So, one game point saved, but a long way to go here. Able to defend the chest and upper body again, that time with the backhand. He went sort of scorpion, bring the forehand paddle up in front. They get to 3.
Couple of very cleanly struck counter volleys there by Parris, and able to get that through J-Dub.
Silky. So nice. Just the perfect pace there.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, if that wasn't an argument for placement and over power, I don't know what is. Just shows you don't have to go through your opponents. If you can disguise it well, off speed and high can sometimes be the ticket. Well done by Leigh there.
And a little run here after having a game point at 10-2. Now a few points have been stacked up. I like the timeout here. We'll take one ourselves. Todd and Smith, can they finish game 2? We'll find out. Here with one of the great instructors of the game, Kyle McKenzie.
Well, thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave. I'm happy to be here. I watch way too much of the live stream, so it's nice to be on the other side of it.
We're thrilled to have you, and great match we're getting to witness here. So
yeah, this is a real treat.
Can Leigh and J-Dub continue to make Smith and Todd nervous here? big trigger pull there on a ball that perhaps, again, had she been hugging the line, could have been taken out of the air.
You know, yeah, I don't necessarily hate it. She hasn't done that much the whole match. Maybe there's some nerves with that, but if you're going to make a mistake, I'd rather be an aggressive one. So able to get some good fortune on the next one, see if they can close it out.
Yeah, the pickleball god said, okay, I will reward your aggression.
Fortune favors the bold,
yes.
Dave.
All right, so let's see if fortune favors a game point here or not. This is their second chance. Little indecision.
Staying back and defending here.
Yeah, both sides did the right thing. You just got to try and find a ball that you can bounce and advance in the court. Just couldn't get it. Third try here.
I think it's important to play a good point, win or lose here, just to send a message.
And that requires a good third, and that was not one,
No,
unfortunately. So now that gets in your head. You've got a 4-point lead still, but 3 have been missed.
It's going to feel a lot smaller than what it actually is with the caliber of the team on the other side and with such a quick side out there. Let's see what they can do with it. Got a ball on. Looks like we're going to replay this one.
Yep. Just a absolutely gorgeous setting here at San Clemente here at this Lifetime facility. So if you're committed to the forehand dink on that ball, then you're giving ground and backing up and then trying to hit an unattackable dink. That's a hard combination.
Yeah, I think one of the adjustments she's made. I'll wait for just a second. Nice on a 2. Now, one of the adjustments Parris has made in this second game is she has been more reluctant about when to retreat and basing that off if the team's in a defensive position. I'd like to see her still stay on the line if their team is in control or neutral in the point. It's big.
Yeah, a little indecision in the middle there, and then just that pressure.
It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. Now, what do you do if you're Parris and Spencer in this situation as far as mentality? You feel the other team coming back?
Yeah, just play what got you there. I mean, you know, I actually have enjoyed Parris on the left, and that's what they've chosen to do here. Let's see. And attacking across is a beautiful choice by Leigh Waters, and folks, it's now just a 2-point lead from 10-2 to now 8-10-2 on the other side. They used the timeout. I like that call. We're going to keep it right here. All right. So Kyle, you counsel a lot of people. We've got Smith and Todd sitting over there.
Right.
We need one stop. What are you telling them to do here?
Yeah, I think you want to find that fine line of, like you mentioned, playing the what got you there, being consistent, but not just focusing on consistency, because if you start just make balls, you're going to gradually get further and further behind in the point. So I think you need to dink with purpose, but wait for your opportunity and really be in that mindset of make your opponent earn everything they get. So again, easier said than done. You've got different emotions going on, but I think if you get too aggressive, it turns into that wild category. That's not what you want. But conversely, if you just focus on consistency alone, you're probably going to be playing more on your heels. So I think big targets, maybe work the soft game, work the location, but dink with intention, dink with a little bit of pressure to set yourself up. And when you have your moment, you got to go for it.
Yeah, because if you just play consistent, that's another word for tight.
Yep, absolutely.
And you know, let's play. Let's know where we want to hit this return and go do it.
Dave, I believe he said 9-10. I think it's 9.
so good.
Smart, very smart. She clearly could have hit that ball bigger, but she saw that Parris was leaning towards the middle, decided to play an aggressive dink out wide for a clean winner.
And we are knotted at 10. Oh, and for the first time in the match, goes for the Ernie.
He saw it well. The ball just got a little bit too low by the time he got there. Too bad.
And folks, it is match point for J-Dub and Annalie Waters. And that goes just an inch deep. So, okay, can you settle in here and play a couple good points on serve?
You know, sometimes the pressure when you actually don't have the lead anymore allows you to play a little bit more free to close this game out. So see if they can do it.
Oh, after a BB of a third shot drive by Parris Todd.
Had the one they wanted. She just went a little bit too flat on that finish. Too bad.
Fend that off, so they are unable to take advantage. So we are at match point number 2 for Waters and Johnson, who came storming back here.
After all the drama, here we are. Great counter by Spencer there. A little surprised, to be honest with you, that Annalie pulled the trigger that early. Seemed like they were having some success working the point a little bit longer. We'll see what they do on second serve here.
Yeah, the comeback has been winning at the kitchen on their terms.
Yep.
Johnson gets a little too frisky there in the middle, and Parris sitting on that and fires away. All right, 3 match points saved, 3 game points saved on the other side. It's 10-11.
Just a split second late, and that's been a theme this match. Is J-Dub's been very dangerous with that flick. If you can't time that first counter big, it leaves them in control. Annalie really working that inside foot right now.
And if Smith's not going to come over. Ooh, just wide. No, that ball's wide.
It's a huge point for them to get off a 10.
Yes, because they've been on 10 for just under 45 minutes.
Obviously, because the game's almost over, but psychologically as well.
So 11 apiece is correct. And they're going to play Todd on the left here at 11 all. Can they sneak back to get a game point of their own? Oh no. So Todd just with a, by fractions made her way to the kitchen line, and that middle dink again.
Yeah.
Okay, 11 up. Johnson thought he missed that, but kept it perfect.
Great counter by Annalie.
And then you're discombobulated because you lean in, and okay, first chance at 12-11, but 4th match point overall here.
Using that carbon paddle to add a heavy ball.
Get that diving deep on the line. 5th match point. Oh, look at Annalie
Look at
Waters
the
on a mission.
disconnect. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know, most players there would stay back with that high
retreat.
bounce. Not Annalie. She's turning that into a poach. And great match. Great, much better performance in the second game by Spencer and Parris. I'm sure they're disappointed they couldn't pull it off, but that's what big-time players do. We've seen it happen time and time again. It's, you know, tough to get that last point.
Yeah, that 11th point, in this case, it took even more than that, but I think they'll go back and look at what did we do on those 3 game points. How could we have played that just a little different, and then what enabled Annalie Waters and J.W. Johnson to just grind it. They used the timeouts intelligently, and then they really took over at the kitchen line with discipline. And that's what you got to have. You got to be disciplined when either your play or in this case, your opponent's play pushed you quite a ways back. So
I think that's where experience comes in too. You know, when you know that your best stuff is good enough against anybody, you just dial in your focus, and it doesn't matter if you are down 6 or 7 points. You feel that you have the ability, if you just clean stuff up, to go on a big run like that, which they did.
So J.W. Johnson, Annalie Waters moving on after a hard-fought match. You know, Kyle, you and I talked about it before, and we're like, this could get interesting. First game wasn't.
Not
second game certainly was. When we come back, looky here, Catherine Parento playing with not Riley Newman, as I talked about in the intro. Lindsay Newman's in the house. Colin John's over there. And look who's back from France.
Hey, he's back. He's back. I'm happy to see him. Happy to see him in action. Him and Jesse, before he, was detained. I don't know if that's the best word.
No, I don't think he was detained.
Not detained.
Folks.
I felt like he was, because I missed him in the pickleball scene. But they were having some very consistent results. We'll see how they do in this one. Should be a very close match. I know each of us are in different camps for who we think is going to get through this one. Should be fun.
It will indeed. We'll be right back with this tremendous matchup. Don't go anywhere.